Right, right, this is some improvements I've been doing to the generator. I'm in SketchUp at the moment. Now the drum, the rotary drum is actually inside here. Now, for safety reasons, because I'm using high RPM, I've created an additional screen, that basically another tube that goes around the drum. Now, I've been doing some experiments using a ruler, actually, a piece of plastic, and when you guide the airflow that's spinning around the drum away from the drum, out of the system, it creates a vacuum which increases the speed. So what I've done is I've created this secondary layer, this secondary tube that acts for two reasons. One is protection in case the drum was to shatter, and that would basically break any, because it's only a 5mm gap between the actual rotor drum and the actual screen. The inertial forces wouldn't really get up to a great speed, and it would also protect the environment basically, and me, so that if it did split or break or anything, it would basically be stopped by the secondary drum, which is on the outside. And as the air is spinning anti-clockwise, I'm looking at the wrong end. It was actually it's actually running clockwise from this end. Because the airflow is spinning clockwise, it will be forced out through these slots at the bottom, and that creates a vacuum, because you have to remember that the drum, the actual rotor with the magnets in it, there's no way for it to replenish any airflow, because the gap between the drum, the gap between the drum and the actual end thing is very small. We're talking about 2mm. I don't know, maybe that's not right. Just a minute, let me get my sheet down. We're actually talking about 0.3mm. And the gap is so small that air can't get back in to the rotor drum that's spinning at high RPM, about 6,000 RPM, whatever. Air can't get back in. So basically what happens is the air that's in there, that's trapped in the system, will fly out the bottom through these vents, and these vents are angled basically like a fan, so the air can exit, but it can't get back in again. Well, a certain amount of air will remain in the system, because that amount of air that's in the system that's spinning with the rotor will be reduced. There'll be a partial vacuum there. It will be reduced quite a lot, so probably 70% less air in around the drum, and a small amount there will keep that pressure or keep that vacuum maintained inside this gap. Because if any air does manage to get back in there, it's going to get flung out again, because the rotors are actually travelling in that direction. So yes, I did some tests actually. What I did was I stuck a ruler at a 30-degree angle, sort of in that direction, against the rotor when it was spinning, and it actually increased in speed. So I know it will work. And it reduced drag effects on the it will reduce the drag effects. So anyway, that's what that is. So that part, it doesn't go around, it's stationary, it's fixed to the end. It'll be, when I've printed it, I'll stick all four of these sections together, and then there'll be, well, these two sections at this end will be stuck onto this end bracket, and those two on this end will be stuck onto that end bracket, and there'll be a small, tiny gap, possibly no gap at all, depending on how close I get the tolerances really. So, and that will help to minimise friction. Now the gap between the actual drum and the magnet, the coils, it will be about, let's see, trying to get my measurement thing fixed. It's going to be about 8 millimeters. But my actual tests, no, actually that's between the thing, sorry, hang on a minute. The gap between the actual drum that's rotating, I can get to it, it's difficult. Hang on, I'll put X-ray on, can't see it from here. From that point there, need to back out a bit. It's about 15 millimeters, which is good because the new system is much more efficient. There's a much bigger flux field. So yeah, 15 millimeters should be okay. And if I need to reduce the distance, all I have to do really is add an extra ferrite core onto the end of these and bring it in a bit closer by an extra 8 millimeters. So I can effectively bring that induction path closer to the drum. So that's another way. That's a way of adjusting the distance between the flux and the coils. So I thought I'd explain a bit better about that. These are my new drums with the offset magnets. Let's just hide this a minute so you can see what's going on. Right, so there's my there's my main drum with the magnets in purple. The blue is the drive shaft. There's the yellow is the protective shield. Gives me a little bit of extra protection in case something goes wrong, and it also helps to vent any air out of the system which is spinning around. I mean, it's got no choice but to, because centrifugal force and the fact that it's spinning, it will want to escape. It won't want to be in there. It'll try to escape, just like a vacuum cleaner, centrifugal fan. You create a vacuum, and when you stop the air flowing, it speeds up. Similar principle. It will basically reduce the drag on the system. So anyway, to explain that, the green things are just bracing brackets to hold things stable together. The yellow part on top, this piece on top, is in case I want to add a secondary coil onto the back end of the first coil. That's just optional. That's why I only put one section of 4 there. It's for experimental reasons, so I can slide extra coils in to see if I can get more power out the back end there. But yeah, I haven't actually printed those yet. I haven't bothered yet. But I'm just testing the main system, which is the white bobbins. So yeah, anyway, I thought I'd just do a little bit of explanation about my new design. So I scaled this up slightly bigger than the original one. It's very, well, I didn't really scale it, I resized some of it. The bobbin holders are the same size. The green brackets, I made them slightly larger, the drum slightly larger to accommodate the extra magnets, because originally there was just, it was 8 originally, but now there's 16. Sorry, no, there's hang on. There's 24 altogether. There's the smaller ones in the middle, so there's actually a lot more magnets in there. But that's in each drum. Anyway, that's where I am at the moment, so thought I'd give you a little update. I'm just printing some more. I decided rather than dismantling the other one, because I was going to just dismantle the other one and take everything out of it. I thought, no, I'll just make another one. I'll make a shorter one. So I'm going to do a 3-stage drum instead of a 4-stage. I'm just doing a 3-stage drum assembly. The reason for doing it smaller is because of the extra diameter of these drums. It will probably require a little bit more torque, and rather than driving 4 of them, I'm just going to drive 3, which will be a bit easier. And plus, I don't really need 4 anyway. I could get away with 2, but I thought we'll go with 3, and we'll see how we get on with that. And I could always extend it later on if I install a longer drive shaft and just print some extra drums and extend all of it. But I'm just going to go with 3 for now, just to save time and money really. And all the bobbins that are in the other one, I can just slide them out and pop them straight into this one, so I don't have to change anything in the coils. I can do a direct comparison with the same coils, which is really useful. So I can see the differences without actually changing or rewinding the coils, because I'm using the same ones. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Ignore that. These are just the same things that are in here. I just made a copy of that, so it's the same thing. I'll just hide that now, and that's the screen without everything in it. That's a copy. I edited this separately, so that it's a component. So everything I do to this one happens to the one in there. So if I change the colour of this thing, let's see, let's go with a different colour. Let's go with blue. Oh, it's not working, hang on. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. Right, why is it not changing colour? Right, I'll go with blue. It should change colour, what the heck? Right, that's it. Right. Now that I've changed the colour of that, you'll notice that the drum in there has changed as well. I mean the cover. If I just do the undo thing, undo, it's gone back to yellow again. So yeah, which is useful because it means it'll be all changed instead of just one. Anyway, that's it for now, I think. I probably need a different colour for the drum for that screen anyway. I think. Let's see. Let's see about going with. Let's see what colour I can use. Something pink. I think pink will work. Yeah, I want a unique colour really. Right, that should work. And now it's pink. Right. And hide that. Right, and there we are so far. That'll be fun when I start doing testing on it. I was feeling a little bit nervous about these things from flying apart, you see, and I thought, well, having an extra screen there won't do any harm. I've tried to make them as solid as possible with acetone and everything, and I think they are pretty solid, but you never know. cracks can appear mysteriously with it being 3D print material. Having an extra barrier between me and that rotor is kind of reassuring, you know what I mean? A bit like having a windshield. Anyway, that's it for now.